What's up, world? It's your boy Big G coming at you with the KnoItAllZ podcast, kicking it with my dude Tate as we get down with this NFL mock draft special presentation on the KnoItAllZ podcast. Hey, but before we even get into the KnoItAllZ podcast, please like and subscribe. Like us on Facebook, like us on TikTok, like us on Twitch, like us on Twitter, and please like us on YouTube. As the channel grows, we grow, and we continue to bring you guys the best of what we know with the KnoItAllZ flavor. So I'm sitting here today with my boys Tate, and I said, man, Tate, we got to get a special draft together just to let the Pittsburgh Steelers fans know what we're talking about. So me and Tate had a conversation. We identified like 11 cats that we thought could go between 17, 32, and 48. And I'm going to let Tate start talking about the guys that we think is going to bring the flavor to the Pittsburgh Steelers for this year's NFL draft.
What's up, Big G? So first off, this is Pittsburgh Steelers exclusive. We doing 2 rounds. The Steelers have picked 17, 32, and 49. And we both did a mock draft through 2 rounds to see. We identified the 4 players we wanted to get. Big G identified 2 players he wanted at 17. I identified 2 players I wanted at 17. So the players we came up with at 17, it's funny because we both went a different direction. Mm-hmm. Big G went all offense, and I'm not mad at that. I like all offense. His 2 players he identified to want to take at 17 were Broderick Jones, left tackle from Georgia, 2-time national champion, obviously. Is one of the top 3 left tackles and one of the top 3 tackles in the draft. You can only be a top tackle if you're a left tackle. Yeah. I've identified. Big G and I both have identified 2 players that we think the Steelers should potentially take at 17. I'll address mine and let him address his. So for my 2 picks, I picked 2 defensive players. So obviously, the player on everybody's Pittsburgh Steelers list at pick number 17, Joey Porter Jr. I think Joey Porter Jr. is one of the top 3 cornerbacks in the draft, perhaps top 2 now since Witherspoon has been injured, missed the pro day, didn't run at the combine. He was up high on the list, but he may be falling back. So I think that makes it between Christian Gonzalez and Joey Porter for CB1. Depend on your flavor. I mean, Christian Gonzalez is smooth in and out of his breaks, is a great man-to-man cover guy.
Beast.
With Joey Porter, we get a physical long corner. He's physical and long. He doesn't have many splash plays in way of turnovers, intercepting the ball, but he would be probably the third best corner we've had in Pittsburgh since Rod Woodson.
Woo!
No. I said after the third best.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Rod Woodson 1, Ike Taylor 2. He can rival Ike Taylor. They're kind of the same guy. Fast, long, speedy. Ike T didn't have a lot of, didn't turn over the ball a lot. He couldn't catch an interception. And as of now, Joey Porter didn't have many interceptions in college. I think he had just 1 last year. But I think he would be a great addition to the defense. He's physical, could be up in the run. He's good at man-to-man, good at zone. I think you'll learn a lot from Patrick Peterson, Professor P.
Yeah.
So, I kind of really like that pick at 17 if he is available. The other guy I picked is a player that was a 5-star recruit, ranked the best high school player in the nation, played for the University of Clemson and Dabo Swinney. I don't much care for Dabo Swinney, but that's another thing.
Get that Clemson hate, Tate. Get that Clemson hate.
Yeah, ACC, man. We don't think about them really, man. But is Brian Breezy. I like him. He's a defensive tackle. I believe he's like 6'5", 305. He was injured. He had a family tragedy. His younger sister died from brain cancer.
Yeah.
Last season. Sad about that for him and his family. Condolences. But I think he will be a really good player if you can get him at 17, because we re-signed Larry Ogunjobi. We got Cam Newton. I don't know what DeMarvin Leal is going to be. I like him, but is he putting weight back on? Did he take weight off? Like, what's he going to be?
Yeah.
Travius Adams is probably going to be at the nose, and we could address nose later in the draft. So I like Brian Brees. He's fast off the ball. He's explosive. His drill work at the combine, he was really fluid and really fast. So I think he could be a nice piece. Come in and learn under Cam Hayward, just like if we draft a corner, Joey Porter would learn under Pat Peterson.
Yeah, agreed.
I think we're setting that defense up for even more success. We were top 10 last year. If we spend two of our three first 50 picks in the first 50, we could be a top 5 defense.
Tate, I don't disagree, man. I love your picks, and I love the fact that you want to address to keep adding to that special defense that we're building in Pittsburgh, because I really do believe this upcoming season is just going to be special. But I had to go a different way. And the reason I had to go a different way is because I think we got a special thing going on at that QB1 in Pittsburgh. So I'm like, okay, listen, we addressed some things in the offseason with the defense, getting linebackers, a corner. You know, I like the things we've done. But offensively, and we did good on offense. We got 2 guards that are just like all world. But if you're really going to get it done with Pickett playing that quarterback position, let's solidify some things for him. So my first pick at 17, you got to go offensive tackle. Now, the deal is it Olinsky from Northwestern? Is it Paris Campbell from Ohio State? I don't think either one of those guys will be there. But however, I think there's a guy that can handle his business and be just as productive or just as good as those 2 guys that I just mentioned. And the guy is Jones, the offensive tackle from the University of Georgia. This kid's 6'4", 315 pounds, and looked like a grown man standing next to all those other guys that combine. If you go back and watch the footage, look at him hit that one-man sled and literally just knock it off the camera. This kid is super special. And not to mention the fact he ran a sub 4.9 40-yard dash at 315 pounds. So he's a super athlete. But what impresses me more than anything is if you go back and watch the game film, not just about some of those smaller bottom feeder teams in the SEC like the Vanderbilts and the Missouris. Go back and check his film against Bama. Go back and check his film against Tennessee. Go back and check his film against Florida. Go back and check his film where he mashed Ohio State's defensive ends and was calling them problems. This kid is really special, and I believe he's a 10-year starter in the NFL, right? So I got to go with Jones with number 17. But at number 32, this is where it gets spicy in Steeler Nation, because I think that Coach T always likes those abnormal chess pieces that you can move around and put anywhere on the board and just make another team cringe when they line up. So who I got at 32, and I know a lot of the teams in the division ain't gonna like it, but oh well. Give me Darnell Washington, tight end, University of Georgia. So we go Bulldogs at 17 at 32. That tight end number 32, listen, y'all, 6'5.5", 6'6", 260 pounds, sub 4.7 40-yard dash, and it's got catch radius like out of this world. Could you imagine us lining up with Freiermuth and Washington in 12 personnel and you not knowing how you're going to match up what could possibly be the best tight end combination in the NFL? And oh, by the way, the kid is as strong as a bull. Because remember, I made reference about what Jones did to that one-man sled. Go back and look and see what Washington did to that one-man sled in that pre-draft combine thing. He knocked that sled so far back, it was unbelievable. And you got to remember, this sled's got 2 big old 50-pound weights on the end of it, and it probably weighs about 200-something pounds by itself. And he just picked it up and mauled it. So, but his catch radius is unbelievable, because you even seen that at the combine where he jumped up and gave us a one-hand Odell Beckham type catch. But he not only did that in the combine, go back and look at his game film. I seen 2 or 3 times where the dude jumped over a dude trying to hurdle a guy like a running back.
The film we got here will show that.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. This guy, man, is unbelievable. So I love at 32 and 17, 2 Georgia Bulldogs. I think it'll happen for us.
But I feel like, G, you kind of got ahead of yourself, man. We was just picking what 2 players we would take at 17. You jumped to 32.
Oh yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, we can talk about 32 when we do the mock draft. I just want to comment on both those players. I like both those players.
Mm-hmm.
I like bringing in, if it's me, man, I like bringing in Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
At 17, but I have more belief in Dan Moore than I do Chooks.
Yeah.
So I could slide Broderick Jones to left tackle.
Yeah.
Slide Dan Moore back over to right, which he originally played.
Yeah.
Save about $12 or $13 million letting Chooks go. And we could draft another developmental guard later in the draft, but we saving $13 million, and then Broderick Jones goes more along with Siamolu.
Yeah,
the guard we just got. He's a mauler. He's a bruiser.
Both of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they both of them guys physical.
And then and then your backup is still Dotson and Herbig.
Yeah,
at guard. I like both those guys. Herbig has played some center. James Daniels plays some center.
Yeah.
So you kind of got a rotating backup center just because of the versatility you have.
Yeah.
You just need to get a backup backup tackle or developmental tackle.
Yeah.
I like that Broderick Jones pick. And then on top of that, like I said the other day, the Steelers are building a bully, man. That's how we want to play football.
Yeah.
Defense in your face, smash mouth run game. You know it's coming, you can't stop it, right?
Right.
So that Darnell Washington pick only elevates the run game because he's like an extra tackle.
Exactly. But can catch and fast.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So an extra weapon, but also an extra blocker. Like you got a tight end on the field, but it's like you almost got another offensive lineman on the field.
Yeah.
Because he's so big and such a great blocker. I like that. Freiermuth could play more in the slot.
Yep.
Or we can run the, true 12 personnel, both tight ends in line. A lot of good play action, pop pass over the middle. Yep. A lot you can do with that, man.
Yeah.
So I like both those picks. And I wouldn't be mad if they got either one of your two or either one of my two. I understand the reasons for all.
Yeah. Agreed, Tate. I think that we're going to put ourselves in position to we're still a nation. We ain't went nowhere. So let's not get it twisted for all those people out there to say Coach Tomlin ain't the guy. Coach Tomlin ain't never had no losing season. But I'm saying putting us back in the position to where we can win the division and go on and make a march through the playoffs. I think this is the draft that gets it done for us, and we move forward in 2023 for sure.
Well, I think it all hinges on the development of Kenny Pickett. Like what type of second year jump does he take?
Yeah. Yeah.
It depends on that. That's what it depends on.
Yeah.
I think the defense will be back. I think Terrell Austin, he and that's today's game, man. You ain't just trying to stuff people and shut them out. You trying to turn that ball over.
Right.
That's what today's defense is about. Our secondary led the league in interceptions last year.
Right.
And we pick up Patrick Peterson and potentially a first or second round draft pick to go back there.
Yeah. And
you got KZ with a full year in the system because he got hurt in the preseason last year. Did come back to about halfway.
Yeah. But Tate, my take has always just been, I think that with that, we're not talking about that pick right now, but I think there's a guy that's going to be there at 48, that cornerback from Kansas State that I would love to run opposite of Patrick P, man. And then we get this offensive thing taken care of, so that way we can play bully ball on both sides of the field. That's just me.
Julius Brents, who you talking about?
Julius Brents, man. That kid is a monster, man. I love him at corner.
He's 6'3", like 215, big body corner, fast, fluid. I like him too. There's nothing not to like, really.
Yeah.
But even if the guy Devontae Banks could be there, but why don't we just go ahead and get into our mock drafts?
Yeah.
The 2-round mock draft we did.
Yeah.
If you look at our chat, you'll see your draft in there, my draft in there.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll go over mine first.
Go ahead.
So, per what Big G said, at pick 17 in my mock draft, keep in mind we just did 17, 32, and 49. It's funny how this worked out because at 17, I took Broderick Jones.
Yeah.
We didn't even
talk. Yeah, we didn't even talk. You did your thing. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That was the best pick available for me at the time. And position of need. I mean, I could have went somewhere else. I think Skoronski was still on the board, but I chose Broderick Jones because Broderick Jones fits more what they're trying to do. Skoronski and Paris Johnson are more technical.
Yeah.
They're more technical blockers and linemen, but the upside that Broderick Jones has just based off athleticism, strength, and power, and he's a mauler right now. That's what we're trying to do. We see a mauler with James Daniel, with Mason Cole. Yeah, we trying just to own the line of scrimmage for 4 quarters.
Yes, sir.
So I picked Broderick Jones at 17. Funny, here we go again, 32. I picked Darnell Washington. He was available. And we've already talked about, because those were 2 of our picks we would take at 17. I got him at 32. We talked about why he would be such a value acquisition in the draft.
Yes, sir.
And my third pick, I took cornerback out of Maryland, Deontay Banks. He kind of blew up the combine.
Yeah.
I mean, like
great film too, Tate. Go back and check his film. His film was outstanding.
Okay, like 6'2", 205. I mean, I like everything about him. He would have to come. I don't think he would be a day one starter like Peasy Jr. or Gonzalez, but he could come in and learn from Pat P, and then by week 8 or 9, he can unseat Levi Wallace. You know what I mean?
Yeah, opposite corner.
And play opposite corner Pat P.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my 3. Now go ahead with your 3.
Man, my mock draft was crazy. There was some stuff that happened, and I don't think there's any way in the world it's going to happen, but I'm just going to put it out there. What happened with pick number 17 is a kid that me and Tate have talked about off camera that I think is going to fall, but there's no way in the world he's going to fall to us. But if he's there, we're taking him. So at 17, Jalen Carter, defensive lineman, University of Georgia. I mean, there was no way. I had top-notch dudes sitting on the board at 17, and I looked, and I was like, there's no way Jalen Carter's there. So he was there. I got to take him at 17. I think he's the number 1 player in the draft, but what's killed him is his off-the-field issues. Stuff he's got with the legal system, some stuff he did away from the field, and some of them maybe look 1 or 2 things on the field. But as far as talent, he's a beast.
Hey, man, it's a lot of people in the local Pittsburgh media, different shows, some of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette shows that I watch, DK Sports Pittsburgh. I watch a whole lot of them, Locked On Steelers.
Yeah.
The Steel Curtain Network on FFSN, which we both contribute to. But a lot of people talk bad about Jalen Carter, man. I think some people forget what it's like to be 20, 21 years old, man. You do dumb stuff.
Yeah.
It was a time when we was teenagers. I probably was like, you wasn't with me that night, but I was like 18, senior in high school. My mom had just got a new Nissan Maxima. Remember that Maxima?
Yes, sir.
And I had that, me and Mike West, man, I had that thing out on 75. I'm 18 years old, maybe even 17, depending on what time my senior year was. I was 18. So I was 18 most of my senior year. I had that thing out on I-75 between Lima, Ohio and Toledo on I-75, and it was doing 120 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just foolishness, but that's what young people do. Yeah. So I don't think we need to just totally crucify the guy and criticize him because it was a tragic accident that somebody died because they were racing. But that's kind of the dumb stuff that young people do and you learn and grow from it. So
what the issue is that we're in a world where people make mistakes, and we also live in a society, at least I always thought, that you can get second chances. So I'm saying that the talent for this kid outweighs any mistake that he made as of this point. So that's going to come down to the front office evaluation. But if he's there at 17, we got to grab him. And I think Coach Mike Tomlin will be the perfect mentor for him. Yeah, correct.
Along with a player position in his position room like Cam Hayward.
Exactly, and because Mike T loves his players like he loves his own kids. So there's some love going on over there in Pittsburgh. The second guy that fell to me, man, and if this happens, then my draft was meant to be. Because who was sitting there at 32, and there's no way, in my opinion, he gets past at 15, but he was there in the mock draft, was Peter Storinsky, the tackle from the University of Northwestern. How in the world could he last to 32? But and when I did the same mock draft Tate did, and for whatever reason, he was sitting right there at 32, so I was like, I got to take him. So now we start talking about here's that guy who's a technician, left tackle that is going to protect Kenny Pickett for 10 to 12 years. And possibly could be a Pro Bowler. So I like that kid. And then my third pick, and I was like, there's no way in the world this is going to happen. But in the mock draft, it happened. Drew Sanders, inside linebacker, University of Arkansas, was sitting there at pick number 49. Ladies and gentlemen, Steeler Nation, if you have not watched this kid play football, please go sit down and watch some tape. I know a lot of Steelers is high on that Jack Campbell kid, but I'm telling you, Sanders is better than him. This kid is a runner. So you're talking about, we just picked up 2 inside linebackers that are downhill, tacklers and all whatever else. And I think we'll address the nose tackle position later on. But when we're talking about down and distance, and you got a guy like Travis Kelce, or you got a guy like Ertz, or you got a guy like Kittle, this guy, you can put him in at down and distance, 6'4", 245 pounds, legit 4.5, 40-yard dash, and runs like a deer and can hit you when he gets there. So now you got this guy that can come in and cover any slot or any underneath position that gives us the flexibility and those chess pieces that I told you Coach Tomlin like, where you can put a guy around anywhere. So if my mock draft falls or if Tate mock draft falls, I think either way, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be sitting super pretty after this NFL draft with those first 3 picks, man.
So Big G, the thing I find I don't want to say unusual, but just different about our mock drafts. We both identified the players we wanted. You identified 2 offensive players at 17, Broderick Jones and Darnell Washington. Mm-hmm. I identified 2 defensive players, Joey Porter Jr. and Brian Brees. When we did our mock drafts, you took 2 defensive players, Skaronski, and I took 2 offensive players.
Yep.
So that just really lets you know the Pittsburgh Steelers really can go any. The board is open depending on who's there and who they want.
Yeah. I think there's going to be some. I really do believe that this is going to be one of the best drafts we've had probably in a decade or more.
Of course it is. When the last time we had 3 picks in the top 49?
Just not that, but the quality of players is going to be sitting there with those picks, man. Like I said, I really do believe this is the draft that solidifies us, that gets us to the head of the division. I know that Joe Burke is sitting over there in Cincinnati, but we got something for you, Joe Burke. Come
Joe Burke. Before we get out of here, man, before you get ready to wrap it up and take us home, man, give me one pick that you would want to get sometime after 49 and pick 80 if they were there. Who would you want to get?
Ika, nose tackle, Baylor. I think his stock has fell enough by his on-the-field performance at the combine, which doesn't mean he's a bad player. But, Pittsburgh land had circled the wagons for Ika going at pick 32. And what I saw on the field, that ain't worth no 32, but it's worth an 80. So I would take Ika at 80.
We got to see his pro day. But, I mean, you know what? It's funny because I'm going to the same position, nose tackle, but I want a different player. I like Ika, but I want Mozzie Smith from Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
I think he may not be there 80. He may go in like the 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
But if he's there, or if you can trade up and get him, because you need somebody to man that nose. He's an exceptional athlete for his size. He's the strongest person in the draft.
Yeah.
In the entire draft.
Yeah.
And he's a run stopper. He can get some pressure on the quarterback from the nose tackle position. So I really like him. But and we'll talk more in depth and detail about the drafts. We'll get Mod on here one day, get him talking about his Dallas Cowboys, and we're going to have a live mock draft sometime before the draft, sometime in the next few weeks. We'll let you guys know.
Yeah.
And we're going to do a live watch show with the draft on April 28th for the first round.
Correct. So we're looking forward to have you guys tuning in to all the know-it-all stuff that we got coming to you. Once again, I thank you guys for watching us and supporting us on the KnoItAllZ podcast. If you like what you enjoy, if you like what you see, please like and subscribe us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok. And man, hit that like button and subscribe, because the more we're able to get our stuff out, the more we're able to give you guys information. Hey, man,
if you know it all Steeler fans, check us out on on the FSSN Sports Network,
Yeah.
Fans First Sports Network, the Steel Curtain Network. We do a show every Friday night called The Homies. You got me and Big G giving you plenty of Steeler talk.
Oh, yeah. Every week we gets it in. 75-25. Steeler Nation, let's rock with us. So, hey, man, as for me, Big G, my boy Tate, and my dude Mod that ain't with us, man. Check us out, and we love y'all. Peace.